What's really good? This is Jad3y B, and we are soft launching the radio show season finale. This is the soft launch, all right? It's been a long time coming, and I'm really big on closure. I'm really big on starting the cycle, ending the cycle by our own means. Boom. So let's get into it. This is the radio show season finale. This is the B.0.0.M. Boom. Live public service broadcast. I am your host, Jad3y B, and we are going to get into our soft launch season finale. We are sending this broadcast up to the ether. We're going to close this very much amateur, this very much grassroots DIY project, send it up to the ether, and we're going to watch some producers fund this for the next season. All right, speaking it into existence, happy Gemini season. I am Jad3y B. Let's get into it. What? What's going on, people of Instagram, people of the world? This is the B.0.0.M. Boom! Live public service broadcast soft launch season finale. Yeah, that's right. With this broadcast, we are going to send this up to the ethers in hopes that a very rich and prosperous producer is going to fund our next season. But with everything that we start, we have to finish. All right, this is graduation season. Congratulations to our seniors out there in colleges and universities, at community colleges, and trade schools, what have you, in grade school, coming out of high school, coming out of middle school, coming out of pre-K, coming out of elementary school. Congratulations. Guess what? You made it, because they really hope I'm already getting into it. I'm already calling them day. Let me be very specific. Media broadcast channels are already launching and creating their narratives of, well, let's look at all the students getting locked up. Yeah, let's showcase that, and not the research and creative forum that Towson University just held last month. Where was the broadcast for that? But they're showing everyone getting locked up and arrested. Columbia University can't even have their commencement ceremony because folks are petrified to show up with their families on that stage. Ain't that bada beep? All right, I just had to get that out. Okay, calling. Who is it? It's my pass. I cannot pick up. I'm very sorry, y'all. I am lit now because this is the season finale of the soft launch. Now, all right, so we started this in January. Let me be very specific. I started this in January. And yes, I'm going to toot my own horn, but just for a little bit. This practice, and this is what I'm very much calling it, this is a practice, a broadcast practice of how to take my intellectual ideas, which is mythologizing, which is creating stories, and how to look at systems, and AKA our life, how to look at that as a system in which to create stories. And so I'm thinking, what is the way that I can broadcast that? What is the way that I can get this out into the world? Because while, I can very much acknowledge that I am on Mount Olympus, I am in the higher institutions, the higher education, that is not my target audience. That is not my demographic of folk that I like to reach out to. I like to reach out to the everyday people. You know what I mean? People who got to pay their bills, people who got to go to work, people who are not in the institution. So I'm thinking, and this is me like last semester, I want to say like last fall, earlier this year, like, all right, how can I go about maybe I can pop up on the street corner, do a little street performance. Maybe, I can get booked for like performances and readings, but that's every now and then, because I got to think of my schedule. I'm like, you know what? Let me do a broadcast. So I set up shop right here. This was January. I set up shop right here. And very much what I'm doing right now, going live and treating this as a practice, I pressed live, go live on YouTube, was just setting up shop, setting up my set, and seeing how to configure. Shout out to Coco Chanel Henderson, who was my first guest here. And guess what? I ain't stopped. I just continued to do it. So this is my testimony that I'm sharing to everyone out there, younger artists, younger creative folks. If you feel like you don't have that team, like you don't have the means, the props, the costumes, man, just open up your mouth, have your intentions clear, your intentions set. You never know how things are going to come together. And I want to give a quick shout out because look at the dread. Look at the drip. Come on. Come on. Styled on them in this Burberry trench. Shout out to Alice Santa Maria over in the costume shop here at Towson University Theater Department. Shout out to Garrett, RTD. That is technical director, providing most of the props that you see right here. This was all word of mouth. This was all word of mouth and all just based on genuine rapport that I had with other fellow artists and collaborators. So that is how the B.0.0.M Boom live public service broadcast started, and it went through a lot of different iterations. It went through, at first we were a radio show, but then I realized, I'm not really selling anything. I don't have any commercials, anything to sell. So it started as the B.0.0.M Boom radio show, the capital Boom radio show. I had a lot to say, and I wanted to find my way into starting to talk about politics. So it went from there, and then I had a conversation with Allison. Shout out to Allison again, and I'm showing her some, how the costumes are being used in the radio shows, and it's like, I'm playing to the microphone, and I'm also playing to the video camera. And it's like, it's not really a radio show because I'm not really like, I'm being seen, but I'm also like mixing together all of those different formats. So Allison goes, why does it just have to be a broadcast? I say, shots fired. Why does it just have to be a radio show? So that's when I decided to call it a broadcast and mix in, and then another opportunity. Man, I just got to tell y'all right now, it might sound like I'm on a tangent and going ding, 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 ding. I promise I'm going to bring it all full circle. Because having the opportunity to work with Kai Dondero and their collective, the Liminal Collective, we came together and devised and improvised a variety show. So using that idea and using that format, I was then able to combine broadcasts and put a bunch of different segments into one. Now, to me, it's just funny to play into the mic. It's just funny to satirize this idea of commercial radio, of commercial broadcasts, of media broadcast channels, but to really think, what is it that we're tuning into? When we call in, what is it that folks are really tuning into? No one wants to turn on a radio and listen to a bunch of ads. No, we want to hear folks' story. This is what makes NPR compelling. Hell, this is what made radio plays compelling to me as a child. So just also finding and playing with my inner child at the same time, just what creative ideas can come out of the blue while I'm sitting up here and setting up shop, and what can be learned while practicing this, while also staying true to my inner child, while playing. Man, I just gotta testify. All right. Now I'm gonna be blabbering and yapping for a very long time, but we have a guest with us here today by the name of Jad3y B. That's Jad3y B with a 3, not an E. All right, so I spilled the beans. Jad3y B is in the building today. She will be joining us very shortly. Again, this is the season finale of the Capital. There it goes. There I go again. It's not the Capital B.0.0.M Boom live public radio show no more. This is a general broadcast. Now, very different from a radio show, as in we're not selling anything. Very different from a podcast, in that I'm not just sitting up here like, hey, what's up, everyone? Just waiting for everyone to get into the chat, and I'm going to wait for everyone. No. Because shout out to Yuri Ernov, who will be... Oh, let me not spill the beans. All right, let me not spill the beans, because this is the season finale. I'm going to not spill the beans. But Yuri Ernov, who is also responsible for dramaturging this radio show, and through weekly meetings, we were able to dissect what works, what doesn't work, what to add in. And something that he reminded me of was, Jam, your theater training, it makes you eligible to be a little dramatic, to add a little flair. So this is the difference between a radio show, packed with all their commercials, between a podcast, where you got folks just sitting up there with their microphone from Amazon and just be like, so the other day I read this article. And no, I'm going to give you a little pizzazz. I'm going to give you a lot of characters. And to be honest, you know what? I gave the most characters. I got to toot my own horn, y'all, because who going to toot it for me? A toot? I don't think so, all right? So again, season finale, we really made it. One of my greatest memories was getting outside. Again, shout out to Chanel Henderson, getting outside of this building here, which we love. We love having access to the resources that the good old institution provides for us, but getting outside and performing this segment, this broadcast at the first inaugural Black Theater Block Party back in April. We were outside at the historic Druid Hill Park. We were by the sundial. Shout out to UA Sensei for helping me out in the background, behind the scenes, and just being right in front of the people. We got to perform twice And somewhere in the beginning, like I knew I wanted to do this like Baltimore banger, this like cowboy kind of theme. And then somewhere in the middle, you know, we were going to perform again. I was like, man, I want to do something completely different. Like, I want to do something out of the blue. And so shout out to Chanel for trusting me to do a completely different segment. And it's really, you know, even right now, feeling like the adrenaline and my heart racing, but really just being able to practice what it is to create on the spot. And creating new adrenaline and creating new blood flow and what I can do and can't do, you know? And this might be another little tidbit in a moment for you. What you might think that you can't do, man, go out and try it. There's no use in overthinking and using our mind for what it's not made for, especially when it comes to hindering ourselves from a new possibility, from a new creative gift and talent. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all, I never see myself as a broadcast journalist until I realize that there is a need for this here. And again, utilizing all my life experience, not just what I learned in the institution, but just from my own life. How do I go about making myself up, putting my character on my avatar, going out in the world and saying, blah, 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 blah. These types of things matter to me because when I was a kid, and when most of us were kids, we were informed by the media, not knowing that these mother bruckers had their own bias. They had the people who was paying them under the table to say certain words with certain oomph. Why do you think when we read certain scripts, we say certain words with certain And I realized that is what I'm interested in. Again, just as a practice in putting together my intellectual ideas, putting it all together and into a broadcast in a format that is palpable by everyday people, just like you and me. All right. I am Jad3y B, and this is the B.0.0.M Boom live public service broadcast. All right. We are sending this broadcast up to the ether in hopes that a very, very rich producer will fund the broadcast for the next season, all right, because I put in the work. You see what I mean? You see what I'm saying? And that rich producer ain't even going to be another external person. It's just going to be another opportunity for me to take this to the next level. But I'm going to stop talking about that, you know what I mean? Because as soon as you try to say your little plans and people run it back, people don't even know how to be in this live right now to even try to hinder what I got going on. People just don't like it in general, man. The hateration. Mary J. Blige was right. Don't need no hateration, but the hateration is real out here, man. You'd be surprised you in your bag. You doing what you love to do. You'd be surprised the funny things that come out of people's mouth. You just got to look at them sideways. Like JT said, so funny, got me looking at them sideways. It's like, what would make you even think to say something like that? I am not sure. I'm not sure. But let's go back down memory lane. Now, there was a moment during this broadcast in the last several months. Again, we started January. It was around my birthday. We started then. There was a moment that I didn't feel like doing it. But again, ain't no one pressuring me to do this. I'm not on a schedule per se. I'm not answering to anybody when it comes to this format. I was like talking to myself. I'm like, damn, I can't do this. I was talking to myself. I said, self, that's the old me. All right. I said, self, I can't do this. I don't feel right. I don't feel like I can go and do this. I was like, man, shut up and get up and do that. Because first of all, who are you? You know what I mean? That's a little like practice that you just like, you dwindle yourself, especially when you get into your ego, you dwindle yourself. You say, man, who are you? You ain't shit. I ain't shit. And I got myself up and did it. And I'm very, very, very proud of myself for sticking to every schedule, every date that I decided to get up here, set up shop, and do my thing. All right? So just know that voice of doubt in your mind, you'd be surprised if you just bulldoze through that. If you just pummel through that, you'll be all right. Okay, and look at me now. You know, I realize what it takes to kind of jolt me into like faking it until I make it. And look at me now. Mama, I made it. All right, this is the B.0.0.M Boom public service broadcast. That's right, we are serving our public with our broadcast. Now, I know today I'm just to my own home, but it's the season finale. You know what I mean? I'm going to talk about what it is that I done established, because no one would have anything to say if I wasn't putting myself out there in the first place. All right, and it looks like we have our special guest for the season finale of the B.0.0.M Boom live public service broadcast by the name of Jad3y B. Now, before I let Jad3y B in, we have an introduction because way back when, the first episode of the soft launch, hold up, the soft launch, see, we're not even official yet. This is still the soft launch, and still, shout out to everyone who supported. Thank you for engaging with the content. I appreciate y'all. Who am I? I'm a nobody. You know what I mean? Again, this is a practice, and this is me understanding, well, how do algorithms work, and how do broadcasts work, and who gets to say what, and what gets to say who. The very first episode, I said radio show hosts, and just, people with channels and everyone online inviting folks into their platform. I said, introduce your guests. If I was doing post-production for this episode, I would run that back. Introduce your guests, okay? And that's what I'm going to do before we let in our special guest for our season finale, Jad3y B. All right, y'all ready? And that's JD with the 3, not an E. Get it right. Here we go. Jade, a.k.a. the Inner Child Healer, is a 25-year-old artist, film and music video director, and tarot reader. She was an oracle from young, but she didn't quite realize her difficult childhood would aid her in becoming a healer for her traumas and many others as well. She is an inspirational servant leader and multi-talented force to be reckoned with. I felt that. All right, y'all, I need y'all to give it up, because I'm about to go do that myself, because we self-produce. I need y'all to give it up for Jad3y B. Come on. Keep it going. Keep it going. All right, hold up.
Hey.
Yeah. All right. Jay, welcome. You are our first virtual guest on the B.0.0.M Boom Live Public Service Broadcast. We just introduced you. Jade, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Feeling great.
Hold on. Hear me?
Good. Feeling great.
You,
Yep, I can hear you. Sound well.
all right,
Sound
good. I'm over here projecting and all of that. Well, that's good. That's really
Wait,
good.
can
It's
y'all hear
so
me?
good to have you here. Hold up.
Hold
Because
on.
it's live. All the technical.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Y'all
Hold on.
see me? I hear you. You see me?
I see you.
Y'all hear us? Shine, you
Y'all
in here?
hear us?
Shine.
All right.
We good.
All right, and we back. All right, just going to check in because we live, and I ain't doing no post-production. This is the episode, you know what I'm saying? So this is live in the flesh. Jad3y B, what's really good? I just got to give you your flowers right here, right now. Shout out to you. Shout out to your channel, The Inner Child Healer. Now, I had the prestigious honor to witness your magic up close and personal. This was October of 2023. You came up to Baltimore. That's where we are right now, Towson, Maryland. You came up here and you blessed the students who I was teaching last semester and myself with not only a lecture, but also a workshop that you held. Yo, shout you out. Hold up. I'm sitting here trying to be, host and all of that, but you know how we really feel. You know how we really feel. It was a good time, and I want to say thank you right now and shout you out right now. You are on your hustle. You're on your grind. Messages. Keep going. You know what I mean? You already know that. Just had to put that out there. You know what I mean? Forget what they got to say. Just do what you got to do. All right. So look, we're going to get right into it. So we do have some questions, but you know how we go. We're just going to flow and whatever, we're going to flow according to the theme is finales. You know what I mean? Like finale, what is soon to come to a close, and then what might soon be coming to a beginning. All right. So speaking of beginnings, we're going into the first question. Now, I kind of ran it down a little bit, but could you tell us about, because originally you were going to be interviewed during the public research presentation I did back. We just ran out of time, but I appreciate you being flexible in that way. So I'm going to ask you the questions that I was going to ask back then. Now, what was your role in the mythologizing final project class? Could you run that down for us?
My role was to assist and orchestrate the students in making sure that they properly understood tarot, astrology from their own unique perspective, a unique perspective, a childlike perspective as well, and just kind of get them to realize the power that they have in mythologizing their own everyday lives through tarot. Yeah,
absolutely. Hey, and we made a mean-ass lecture slide. We gave the whole full, background build-up to tarot, and I learned something there, too. Because just understanding how energy readers back in the day used the tarot for the high priests that were in society, you know what I mean? Going from medieval times, Elizabethan England, London times, and then right now understanding how they still exist. I want to see if I got my card somewhere. I got my card somewhere.
All my cards,
you know what? Forget the
on the bed.
You know what? Let's just fake ass dollar bill. You know, basically right here. How do we decipher the symbology that it is that we're looking at? Which was essentially what I wanted to offer to the students, because there is still a lot of spookism behind. Oh, hold up. I said, hold up. Hello.
You said,
yeah, we need to get.
Hello.
Hold on, I'm gonna get them to increase the band.
Spirit.
Yeah, we need to increase the bandwidth. It's Jad3y B, damn it. Goodness, get on my nerves. All right,
Spirit, please protect this connection at all costs.
Come on.
This Wi-Fi connection.
And then Spirit going to kick the asses of the internet providers who are here at Towson University. I'm calling you out. All right, we back. Basically,
okay, thank you.
How can we get artists, especially younger artists, especially artists like ourselves, how can we look at something that we might have been spooked out about before, such as tarot, such as astrology, such as occult, and how can we own these things by interpreting, knowing the starting point of them, and then recreating them in today's time, instead of making remakes, instead of making Fast and Furious 20, instead of making Home Alone 8, instead of making Toy Story 5, you know what I mean? And shout out to all those stories, but I want to hear our own stories. So we really, and popped up, I don't want to speak for the students, but really having an in-depth look at tarot and how to go about, you know, knowing what it is just as it is. I'm going to use this fake dollar bill as an example. And then knowing that I am the observer, knowing that I am the one interpreting, what is my energy signature? How is that informing the story that is being said? Or for you as a tarot reader, how is that informing the reading? And then seeing you live in the flesh, like, man, that's the inspiration right there. And the inner child healing workshop, life changer. I want to let you know right now, ever since then, I've been my own inner child, and at least understanding what that journey looks like for me. I know it's a lifelong journey. I'm looking forward to the next workshop. All right. And you know what's so funny? I just found, and it's been a long time, but it's about an hour long. I just found the video that I was recording of the lecture. So let me know if you want me to upload that to YouTube, or I can send you that directly. I finally found it.
It's okay, because I still haven't been able to I broke my phone on the flight home, you remember, and it was like water damage. Like I had it in the shower. Lord have mercy. And a lot of them don't know that I had damaged the screen. And then, you know, that on my way home, he was like, where are you? Like, not where are you? Like a dad. But you was like, hey, you good? That you made it? And then, I found a phone on the floor of the seat. Like it was a missing seat. Nobody was sitting there, and it was a phone right there, and it was completely unlocked. It was somebody's old grandpa phone, and I had a phone to get home and talk to people. And the phone I'm on is the phone y'all seeing. This is another one. So magic.
You know what this is reminding me of? You know what this is reminding me? Because here at the B.0.0.M Boom Public Live Service Broadcast, I might have mixed that up. We're all about stories. And so that story that you just shared reminded me of a story that occurred yesterday. And I'm going to make it real concise. So long story short, I have a coworker who's like, yo, look, Jam, I'm looking to, shout out to Sagan. Sagan was like, yo, Jam, I'm looking to, you know, up my photography skills and whatnot. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, you want to take some pictures of me? She was like, all right, bet. So we out and about on campus yesterday doing like what I call fake graduation photo shoots. And she's telling me, you know, she's like, man, you know, like I'm thinking of taking a class. I'm thinking of, you know, I want to just get my experience up. And I'm trying to explain. I'm like, yo, it's something about like I'm calling it right now, like being an amateur or like being the fool. I'll use that for an example to be on brand. Like being an amateur or being fresh or new in a field, man, you don't even have to take no classes, especially for a creative endeavor. I'm like, life is going to teach you if you just on it. And lo and behold, it was probably like an hour. We were an hour in. Somebody walk out one of the buildings we were shooting in front of. They walk out with a big ass fucking like one of those photography lights, you know, in the umbrella like thing. And he came out here. His name was Reward. Your name was Reward. Hold up. Cha-ching! Your name was Reward. And he basically like took pictures of me like in real time. Sagan was able to sit back and watch him do his thing. And I sat back, I said, yo, Sagan, I'm talking about, like, if you just put yourself out there, you don't even necessarily have to have all the pieces all put together, but you just go out there. And then that remind me of the iPhone story. That remind me of, I'm like, come on.
Magic just happens. Magic will just happen. If you work with spirit, you will really witness some magical. And and that's the faith that your inner child needs to see. Those are the experiences you have to go through, which allows you to believe in the myth of like, oh, okay, hold on, I got some power here. Let me,
you know,
hold on.
power that everyone looking for. It's not that 50 Cent kind of power. It's that power of like, oh, something so small can be super possible for me, and it allows me to say, oh, you know what? Why did I ever doubt this? That's the type of power that we, the people, are experiencing. You know, people want to use all this stuff and read this stuff. Be like, oh, is she cheating on me? Is he cheating on me? Oh, when will I hit the lottery? Which is nothing wrong with that. But let's start.
But that's not the.
Let's start.
Yeah.
Let's start with like getting our character right. And I've been experiencing that ever since the Inner Child Healing Workshop. It was just something that was lingering, you know, up in my own ether, but really putting it back. Come on now. Come on now. See? All right.
You know how powerful you are. We just be scared of it. So that's it.
We be scared of it. There's nothing to be scared of. All right, it ain't nothing to be scared of, especially when you don't got no blood on your hands. Come on, like all of these systems that were created around us, we ain't had nothing to do. You know, sometimes you got to sit back and repent and just keep moving on because we had nothing to do with this. There's some people who really about to get I feel like I'm regurgitating Jad3y right now. Like justice is about to be served. Y'all go check out the Inner Child Healer on YouTube. Jad3y stay grinding, and I just want to say again, thank you so much. All right, we're gonna move into the next question. Quick vibe check. How you feeling?
I'm feeling everything. It's good though. It's good though.
All right. Ever since, and this is going to segue into the next question, but since experiencing the Inner Child Healing Workshop and then taking this thesis, this is a 2-year program. I'll just run it down real quick. 2-year theater arts program. It's really about getting into the theory. Like performance studies is studying performance, but not only as entertainment, that could also inform. So for me, it was like one of the most accessible disciplines because I'm like, man, since I was a kid, my mama threw me in front of the TV. My grandmama threw me in front of the radio, and I just had to like listen and make sense out of things. My mama, English was her second language, so I learned English by watching TV. You know what I mean? And so understanding as I'm getting older, like, wow, there's some real deep narratives in here. Why is this character remind me of this character? So it was my way of pinning and putting together all the mythology, the characters, and what we're entertained by. So this next question, and ever since then, and watching you do your thing, I'm like, you know what? What Jad3y B is doing is what this program is preaching about. It's something called being interdisciplinary, like having multiple disciplines. Like you a nail tech, and a tarot reader, and a film director, and an actor, and a musician. That's interdiscipline. Those are all disciplines, and you are in between that, and you're your own thing. So in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I would love to have Jad3y B a part of my thesis committee to really break down the ideas. What was the inspiration behind the Inner Child Healing Workshop? And you're very candid about that on your channel. You know, like you have your moments of expressing what happened behind the scenes before we even saw you broadcast yourself, and you're very candid in expressing that. So this question is, how has your personal mythology developed for you to be here right now in this moment? Take your time. I said,
sips tea. Y'all better be there at Two Tarot Tea tonight.
You know we gonna be.
Okay. So it's helped. My cat is up to no good, but it's helped me realize how much of a performer. Say the question one more time, just so I don't.
Yeah. How has your personal mythology developed for you to be here in this moment? So I made it very general.
My personal mythology has helped me develop as a performer, as a performing artist. I've been performing, which a lot of people from my past, before I started really getting spiritual, and then my soul family started integrating with just people who know me along my journey before I became the Inner Child Healer or in my journey. And I was just Jad3y. I was just Jad3y Baby to everybody. Oh, Jad3y Baby, Jad3y. You know what I'm saying? It's helped me realize how much I really am a performer. I wouldn't really say an actress because I've never really been into acting. Not like I'm against it, but behind the camera. So it's made me recognize how. Sorry, my cat. She's talking shit in the background. But I'm good. It's made me realize. It's made me realize that I'm a natural performer and that I am free to express myself the way I need to, depending on the room or the environment I'm in. There's always a time and place for everything. It's really helped me understand like how ethically I can show up and still be a performer without crossing boundaries or lines, but also without suppressing myself or rejecting my true nature and like how I am as an artist, because sometimes people will get people's art mixed up with the artist instead of realizing that it is a part of me, but whether I'm making a content video or I'm making a song or a film, it is still outside of me. It's just something I'm creating. It doesn't make me, I make it. So mythology has helped me realize like the myths I've been telling about myself or creating about myself, and just perform and play that out in real life every day and not be afraid of my own mystery. You know what I'm saying? That I'm still kind of unfolding and learning. It's like with you guys now in real time, where before it was just a myth that was just not untold.
Come on. Come on. It's a unpacking that, and it's making me think how when we even the word myth has that connotation of something that is not true. And obviously this was made on purpose. There's a reason why that definition is also up there with the definition of like fantastical stories, or that are too good to be true, because you have one civilization come in and rape and pillage one civilization, and then everything that you all stood for was a lie, and our logic and rhetoric is better than yours. That effect of colonialization, the practice, whatever you want to coin it, that
That
effect still
brainwashing, like
today. It
it's
still affects our psyche. It's we actually have to be induced by that phenomenon in order to just get out and perform in the world. And to that, what you were saying, a performer, I want to debunk the idea of performing and what that means. We all get so we everyone had a job. Everyone has had a job. And in that job, you get something called a performance review. That just means that you're meeting the criteria and the responsibility of what that mission is for you, that intention,
yeah.
that duty. So we're all performing, and the performers and actors get bad slack. And, a lot of them should, because they phony and fake. But I just want to debunk that whole idea of like, oh, why are you acting like that? Why are you performing? Well, it calls for me to act and perform in this way. And to be a good actor, to be a good performer, you got to know what the duties is. So what you were saying, that was me just putting a container into everything that you.
I love how you said that, because growing up, even really recently, I realized like I think I said it once. I was like, I don't know. I just dealt with different people and I realized like, wow, like I don't really experience um imposter syndrome. Like this is really me. Like you've met me in person. You've seen me do a workshop, then you've seen me get offline and speak the same way. Like I
Absolutely.
grew up north, so of course my dialect and my conversational skills, or my ability to articulate myself, is a bit foreign or weird or erotic in its own way. But at the same time, like this is really me. Like so, when I say performer, I'm happy you said that, because that's me taking the power back and saying it for what it is. Like yeah, like I am a. This is me. Like this is every day. It's like as being a Leo, I have to be on stage. There's no choice that I get. You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm having a real life moment that's just for me, people still seem to make it about a show that I'm putting on. And I could be dead crying about real life, needing bills, damn near homeless, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, what a show!" And I'm like, "This is not a fucking movie. This is my life."
They're like, oh, so good, so
So
good. There you go.
good.
Take the
Thank you. Let me just
Oscar,
get
and the
that.
Oscar too. That's
Shit, it made me think about for a while being an actor, but I'm just like, I can't, because they that's where I become that's when I'm a director.
no, that's
Let me just
and
leave it there.
hey, and speaking of our future endeavors and our inspirations, I'm gonna stick on the acting side because it really do take. And I'm glad you. I'm, I like where this is going as far as like,
I don't
and ultimately,
I don't have the ability to. I can't. I'm one. Ain't no. I can. I
and
I respect actors, but I can't do it. I can't.
Right.
It's hard for me.
And I get that. And I like how you said, this is the role I'm going to play. And this is the role I'm going to play. I'm going to work with the actors. Because just my natural inclination to make sense out of the world. And then when I chose to study acting in college, it was really like, it's basically the theory behind performance and acting. It's some really deep psychology stuff. So they are right when you say you need to know yourself. You need to actually be, you need to live your life in order to be a good actor. And I learned that the other way around. I thought like, oh, I'm gonna be a good actor and then that's gonna set me up for life. Where I got in front of some real directors and they looked at me, they said, Jam, why are you acting? I said, what you mean? Ain't that what I'm supposed to do? They like, oh, you look like you actually like trying. Just be yourself. And I'm like,
So
oh,
when I studied abroad at this school called FAMU, it was amazing. And we shot on 16mm film, which is like the old film where you only get one chance to get a scene at a time.
Got to get it right. Oh, hold on. Hello?
They're so funny out there. They'll be like, look at her skin. They'll be like, oh.
Bandwidth. Hello? Somebody's getting fired. Somebody's getting fired.
Can they hear me? They can hear me?
Damn it. All right, they're going to fix it.
Spirit, I need you to tell somebody to go home. To the
cable. Xfinity. We need it now.
They're
taking care of it. Don't worry.
So when I was studying abroad, just to be quick, at FAMU, it was in Prague and it was amazing. And I always talk about it because I feel like everybody should get out the country and have an experience outside of like the States. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we shot on 16mm film. You only get one chance to get the shot. And it was cold as fuck. And the teachers be so funny and they'll be like, yeah, you see her skin? It's easy to shoot with that. And then they'll point to their face and they'll be like, this horrible. And then they'll be like,
they know. Yeah, at least they
and it'll be so funny. And I remember one time in our directing class, it was a producing and directing 6-month thing I was doing. And he was like, acting, you're not acting, you're being when you're really acting. And I was like, that's why I'm gonna stay being a director, because I already, in a sense, act so good. Acting would be like weird for me, because it would be like I might get all the way in that shit and forget because of how my
energy is. Whole new script, like you say your own lines and everything. It's like Jay.
I might become that motherfucker.
Like, you know what? Improv. Like, damn, that's not what the producer paid $100,000 for.
But as a director, I really can. Maybe that's a Leo characteristic, and then I thought I was an Aqua rising, but lately my chart has switched up, so I'm more of a Cap rising now.
Well, yeah, you found that out.
I just recently found it out. So my chart only changed by a few degrees, so everything's just a little bit different. But it's pretty true. I've had dreams about it, and I said that I already knew something was off with my chart. So I feel like the way my chart is set up, I have naturally that mindset to be a director and to help people maybe even create their own myths and their own stories. And I'm good at that, like pushing people into their own, this is who you are. I know who I am, maybe too much.
Right.
I wish I didn't know so much. But I want to help other people.
There's something about
their characters.
Discovery. Other people make their aha moments of like, I didn't know that. I love watching that, and that's how I know that the mashup workshop that we got in the works already just up in the clouds right now is coming down.
That's
you know what I mean? It's coming down. All right, they messing with our internet, so I'm gonna just keep chugging along. You saying some real good stuff, Jad3y. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. All right, so this last question is actually for you. If you have any questions directed towards me, or just in general, if you have a talking point, let's get into it. You know what I mean? Again, while you think, I'm gonna just do a little because we're on the radio. Oh, we back? Hello?
Xfinity. You funny me.
One call is getting fire. Fix my internet connection.
You're done.
My bad. I had to hop into my Bill O'Reilly bag. We'll do it live.
To my Nikki. I went into my Nikki. You're fired.
I'm
okay.
Behind the scenes, but they like when I talk to them like that and make them get their job done.
Right.
All right. So, okay. If a question in general, if you got a hot topic you want to go back and forth with, if you have a question for me, I'm going to just do a quick little segue while you think, all right? So this is the capital. Oh, it's not the capital because we went through so many different iterations of this broadcast. Everything you see right here, I did it, okay? And that's not to sound like Soldier Boy. That's not like to sound like I'm in my ego. I set up shop myself and said, you know what? I want to do this as a practice. I want to understand, where is the mythology today, if at all? Where are people? Where can people come together and share their unfiltered opinions? Where can we just talk like how we used to on the block? I mean, we still do that, but how can we do it and combine it into this virtual sphere? Want us all online anyway, how can we still be ourselves and really talk that good stuff? And through the experimentation, I'm finding out it's a whole lot of censorship. It's a whole lot of regulation. Also, when I did this gesture, I had deja vu. Let me know that I'm living in it right now, okay? All right, so Jad3y B, this is it. The ball is in your court. Hold up, we got basketball? All right, here to go to disco ball. The ball is in your court. All right, come on. You are our guest host right now. What you got for us? Hold on. What do you think?
I just been saying lately, I predicted all of this. I knew all of this was gonna happen.
Damn.
I just didn't know how I was gonna be used to make history happen. So, Jem, how does it feel to be in the midst of helping make history happen in real time? Like, it's some civil rights, new age type stuff.
I am Malcolm X. I have a dream right now. I look. No, look. No,
they would be proud. They would be proud too. Keep going.
Real proud. They'd be like, "Oh, we didn't know that was a psyop." They're gonna be like, "Oh, weird." I'll be like, "Yo, you got to be funny with it a little bit." They was too serious. It was too serious. All right, but shout them out. But all right, so I really had to own, and I keep reiterating this because it's a part of my own.
News reporter. I'm sorry, Jam.
Oh, that's fine.
I feel like a news reporter.
I really had to own my story. Like, I had to own why it is that I left school, the things that I did, like the headspace that I was in. I had to really own that part of my story to get back here. And that really took shadow work. That really took it. By that, I mean, because even when people hear that, they're like, "Oh, shadow work, oh, witchcraft." Blah, blah, blah. Listen real quick. By that, there might be another word that you might use. You must prayer, meditation. What it is I'm reflecting. Hold up. Do I gotta make a call?
They're fired.
Crew. No, yeah, they've been fired. This they last check. This they last check. But look, long story short, in history, I had to look at my own history. I knew that there was a lot more for myself, but there was a blockage. And so getting up online and actually learning what it means to do shadow work, but not only that, and mimicking what it is and copying what it is that I'm seeing someone talk about online, I had to practice that for myself. So already having an inclination on what it means to take accountability, how to really act in that. And so ever since I did that and made that decision to say, let me walk back in these doors, I knew that history was going to be made. Because don't nobody do what I did. And again, I do not mean to sound like Soldier Boy. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm going to query. Hold up. Hold up. What's the last thing you heard? See, they don't like this talk. Jade. Oh, y'all messing with me now. Y'all don't like this talk. Y'all don't like this talk, but I'm about to bring it full circle and talk to y'all how y'all want to be talked to. Hold up, Jay. Come back. Come back. Come back. What Beyonce say on 6 Inch Heels? Come back. Come back. Come back. Got that comeback. All right, look. Oh, no, Jay. Oh, no. All right, look. You see, look. I cannot be stopped, y'all. This broadcast will not be stopped. It's the season finale, but guess what? We've already taken it. We already got renewed for another season. I got renewed for another season, so I'm not going nowhere. So we're going to wait for Jad3y B to come back. All right, but basically what I was getting at was really owning why the reason that I left, understanding and acknowledging and taking accountability for my actions and how it impacted other people. That I never saw that for myself. I never saw that for myself. So what I decided to do was really, really take accountability and put words into action. Shout out to Dr. Tavia LaFollette. I told Tavia to her face, I wrote a letter, apologizing. I apologize. Even though, I'm making fun of it right now, but, I had some really serious sentiments. And I told Tavia to her face, I said, allow my actions to speak for everything that I'm saying in this letter. And in retrospect, I think I stayed true to everything I said I was going to do. Right here, right now, this is the B.0.0.M. Boom live public service broadcast. And what I was going to get at, in a funny way, because Jad3y
B is a Leo. I'm an Aquarius. Like, me getting in my ego, come on, like, nah, especially when I want to broadcast myself, and especially when it comes to my actions, there's a reason I'm getting into my ego, and there's a reason why I'm, claiming myself as I did this and I did that, because you can do it too. You know what I mean? There was a time where I didn't realize I could do all of this myself, but it was really understanding, taking accountability, and realizing that I can only control my actions. I don't want to sit outside and wait to get the say-so and wait to get a cosign and be codependent on institutions and have a cosign. I did this myself, and I showed and proved what it was that I'm able to do, which is stay consistent with this broadcast thing. That's one thing you can't say about Jam. Jam ain't consistent. You can't say that. No one has ever. You might have could have said that 10 years ago when I was a damn teenager or something, but you can't say that now, all right? Because look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. I'm Jam, boom, boom. It's not your season no more, Chris Brown. Leave us alone. All right, cool. All right, so the reason that this Aquarius is getting in his ego is just letting y'all know that you can do it yourself too. When you lay down the groundwork for yourself, when you lay out some boundaries for yourself, you can make it possible. Now, you can't be a broadcaster like me, but you can do what you do in your own little way. All right, so Jad3y B, I wanna I feel like maybe I'm gonna text you behind the scenes or something like that. If you're in the chat or not, it's all good. I just want to say thank you so much to Jad3y B. This is our soft launch, y'all. We started Aquarius season. We started about 4 months ago, and I called it a soft launch because, I'm just experimenting. This is me as a theater artist. Oh, hold up. Oh, my God. Oh, that's messed up. I'm going to read this out loud, Jad3y B. All the Wi-Fi out. Somebody getting fired. They didn't like us talking. But guess what? We're going to link again in the flesh. They mad at that. They can't stand it. But real quick, and this is going to be the outro, y'all. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has engaged with the content. This is very much an experiment. I am very much a nobody. But in order to be somebody, you've got to put yourself out there. So I don't care if you was casting spells on me, putting my name in pentagons, pentagrams, and all that stuff. You only made me pop it. You only made me lit. All right? So look at me now. You know what I mean? Starting from the bottom now. B.0.0.M. Oh, man. Man, shout out to Traylon, because I had not heard the Kendrick Lamar disses until Traylon was like literally verbatim reciting the lyrics. I said, damn, I gotta go and find this. All right, well, Jad3y B, I'm trying to read from far away. Jad3y B, right. Thanks. Oh, you are so welcome. It's all good. I'm about to wrap it up right now. Just going off in my little outro. Again, thank you to everyone who has interacted and engaged with the content here. Ain't nobody sponsor me. Ain't nobody put me on. I did this with my own volition, with my own mind. And shout out to the collaborators that I had. Shout out to everyone who's been on the show. Shout out to Jad3y B who has shared the content, because this goes pretty far. You know what I mean? I don't consider myself a content creator. You know what I mean? I'm putting on, this is again a part of the practice. This is a part of the experiment of what it means to take your intellectual property and broadcast that out. What does it mean to share each other's stories without agenda, without some sort of propaganda behind it to vote for this and do that? And again, I ain't coming for that system, but how do we generally broadcast ourselves through expression? And guess what? I ain't going to stop, all right? This is just the season finale, but we already been wrote up for season 2, all right? So look out for that very, very soon. I'm going to go live my life, because guess what? I'm graduating from Towson University's MFA Theater Arts program tomorrow. I'm going to do my walk tomorrow. I'm going to do my walk, so it's still celebration season, but the hustle still don't stop. Again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all the folks who are tuned in, engaged with the content, like, share, comment. That stuff goes really far. And to my comments about being a content creator, this stuff goes really far. How do we actually attain success with these new systems in this new digital age of Aquarius? How do we actually genuinely show support? How do we actually lift others up in this virtual space? I mean, we still got, good old competition. We still got those outdated mental forms that we got to kill each other to get up on top. Man, I ain't with none of that, because when it is time, though, it's the time to make hits and it's time to diss. It's time for peace, time for war. I'm always end up on top. All right, so look. I am Jam Boom Boom, and you have been tuning in to the B.0.0.M Boom live public service broadcast, a way for us to share our stories, a way for us to share our creative and intellectual property. This is only the soft launch, all right, y'all? So real quick, put your hands over your heart, and we're going to send this broadcast up to the ether, all right? I have officially officially been launched. You just saw history, our story, mystery in the making. Who knows where I'm gonna pop up next? I might be on CNN with Cameron. Thank you so much for being here to everybody, and make sure that you go boom. That's break out of our own mindsets, become our own media machine by our own means. That's an acronym, B.0.0.M. And I am Jam Boom Boom, and we out. And guess what? I gotta end the live myself because we still self-produce. That's the only way to get it. Hold up, look at the drip. Shout out to Allison. Hold on, I look like Sherlock Holmes, Jam. Let's go get the bub.